What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Destiny, and if you are new here, welcome. Today I will be talking about my MEPS experience. MEPS stands for Military Entrance Processing Station, and I went to MEPS a couple of months ago, so forgive me if I forget some details, but I'm going to start out talking about first getting to the hotel. So the night before we stayed in a hotel, my recruiter, she took me to the hotel. We stayed in the embassy suites. Before she took me there, though, we stopped at Walmart so I could get the correct things that I needed for the next day. And that's all I'm going to say right now, because I'm going to build more into it as I continue to talk about it. But the first thing we did when we got to the hotel was we checked in with the person who was taking attendance. And one of the first things I hear is, "Oh, you're always bringing me senior citizens." And he was talking to my recruiter, but he was kidding. He said it in a serious tone, though, or yeah, he said it in with a serious face. And I was like, who is he talking about? Because I'm young still, and I know I'm still young, but yeah, he was like, "Oh, you're bringing me," because I'm 23, and I guess a lot of people who are joining the army are like right out of high school or maybe even juniors. So yeah, I got called a senior citizen off rip, and literally I was like the oldest person there. There was another person who was probably like about my age, and there was probably one other person who was like closer to 30. So he was a for real citizen, old or yeah. But after we got through attendance and signing in, we were assigned rooms, and because I'm so old and I'm an old senior citizen, I had my own hotel room. Everyone who was like 18, 19 years old, they had a buddy. I had my own room, which was really nice, to be honest, because I didn't have to wait to shower. I could just get right in there. I didn't have to be bothered by anybody. It was pretty cool. So we went back to our rooms for a little bit. We had time to eat. I didn't end up eating because I was borderline my weight at the time. So if I ate, there would probably be a good chance that I would not make it, would not make my weight the next day. So I didn't eat that night. And so I just waited around until we had our little meeting or whatever at 8:30. And in the meantime, I kind of just lounged around the room. It was a cool little room. So that was that. At 8:30, one of the military personnel went through what we were gonna do the next day and our expectations. Expectations such as we need a shower the night of, and in the morning we had to be up by 4:30, and we had to make sure that we didn't leave the room before 4:30 to head downstairs. We had to wait for our call, which could have been any time between 4:30 and 5. My call ended up being around 4:30. I got one of the earliest calls, which was fine. I ended up waking up around 3:30, and I felt like if I went back to sleep, I probably would not wake back up. So I just got up, took my shower, and kind of took my time getting ready and stuff, and waited for that call. And then I headed down to breakfast. And really, I should not have eaten breakfast that morning, but I did. I did eat breakfast. And yeah, you guys will hear about how I weighed in. But I ate breakfast, and then I met a couple of the other girls, and they were really sweet. They were in high school, or yeah, they were about to graduate. I think one still had a year before graduating. They were super sweet. Um, yeah, even though I was one of the older ones, I looked like one of them, if you get what I'm saying. But they were super sweet, and I ended up exchanging information with some of them. So, if you're watching this and you went to MEPS with me, what's up? Um, and we didn't actually get on the shuttle to MEPS until 5:30, so we were waiting around for a while. It was kind of brutal. So after we got off the shuttle to MEPS, we lined up directly outside. They had instructions for how we were going to get into the building because the building is secure. And so once we got through, we sat and waited for everyone else to get through. One person actually did not make it in. He got caught with a pair of scissors in his backpack, so he had to wait outside for his recruiter to come and get him, he was the first person gone. But he would not be the only one that day. And I honestly didn't realize how strict it was. Like, if you messed up, you messed up. And I was like, oh crap. So, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. But after we got instructions and put our things away in the secured area, because we couldn't have our phones, we couldn't have our smartwatches, we couldn't have any of that stuff with us, we put it in the secured area. We met with our branch representatives. So I went and spoke with my representative from the Army, and he was really cool. Apparently he was the cooler one because the other one was on vacation, and I guess he's a little bit more, I don't know what to call it, but he was probably a little bit meaner. I haven't met him, but I got the cool one that week. And after we met with our reps, we did our wellness physical. So they took our blood pressure, got our cholesterol and heart rate. We took our eye exams. We went, after we did the eye exams and blood pressure and stuff, we went and waited into a classroom where they talked about a couple of the big military rules, such as AWOL, and what would happen if we lied on our health history, basically attempting to, I wouldn't say scare, maybe worry us. Well, maybe not worry, I would say scare us into being truthful on the thing, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about that, but basically they reiterated to us that if we lied on our health history and they found out, that we could go to military court and get a punishment or a fine, which is if you lie about something as a civilian, yeah, that could happen as well. So I didn't lie on mine, so I wasn't concerned about that. Also, I mean, I think it was just a scare tactic, but it could be serious. Who knows? And then so the person who was giving that presentation, she was like, yeah, if you're pregnant, you should let us know. Or they talked about the other health part, where we'd pee in a cup and they would test it to see if we had any diseases, or if any of the ladies were pregnant. And she said that there was always at least one person that was pregnant and didn't know it. And I'm just sitting here thinking oh, I know that ain't me, because 2,000% it ain't me. So I wasn't worried. I didn't even flinch at that. And you know what? No one else really did either. But there did end up being someone who was pregnant, and it was news to her. And she really, really wanted to be in the military. That's all I have to say. It was really sad, actually. But hey, it wasn't me. That's all I gotta say. So, like I said, we peed in the cup. We got our blood drawn. We talked to the doctor. He told me I barely had good enough eyesight. Like, I barely made the cut for eyesight. And yeah, my vision is pretty bad. But hey, I made it. I made it through. You know, what's up? Anyway, but I did make the question portions easy on him, because they went and talked about like some of our mental health history. And honestly, well, basically they asked about suicide and like thoughts of harming yourself. And yeah, I've never been suicidal, and I've never had gone into like any serious depression. Like, I've had normal depression, but like it's just, you know, wasn't too concerning. So after we did all of that, we had our actual physical. So they separate the men and the women for this part, and obviously because we had to strip down into our underwear. So we were required to like have underwear that like covered us. So we were all in granny panties and like bra. Well, I don't have anything here anyway, but like not sports bra. I had on a regular bra, but someone else had on a sports bra. I don't have anything there anyway to show, but and we weighed in. I made the cut exactly at the weight I was supposed to be at. So for my height and weight and age, I'm supposed to be at 147 pounds, and that's what I was that day. Literally, if I was 0.1 ounces over, like, I would have been out. Like, they're really serious about that. So yeah, 147.0 is what I was that day. And luckily since then I've dropped a little bit of pounds. I'm about 145, 144 now. So I should be good in the future. Anyway, after that, after they weighed us in, we had to do various exercises to test our flexibility. Yeah, I didn't stretch that morning, and I probably should have, especially because I'm not very good. Like, I do a lot of heavy weights, and so that definitely restricts my flexibility, because I didn't used to stretch or do any yoga previously. So my knees were popping. They were like, I was cracking all over the place. Like, at one point the doctor looked at me like, dang, was that you? And I was like, oh, I hope he didn't hear that. But like, I got through that too. He was like, congratulations, you made it. I was like, oh yes, don't have to call my recruiter to come get me quite yet. But that was like the third thing. I was like, wow, I'm like barely making it right now, but I'm making it. After all of the physical stuff, like the wellness check and the health check, I went back and saw my recruiter, or not my recruiter, my branch rep, and we just discussed the contract. We talked about my job, my MOS, that I'll be stationed in Des Moines for drill, and basically all of the content that goes into that. So like my bonus, my incentives, my expectations for all of that. And we just signed a bunch of paperwork. He was really cool. We talked about a bunch of different other stuff. And after that, I finally was able to go eat before I swore in. So here's the crazy thing. We started out with 6 girls, and only me and another girl made it in. And that was crazy to me because me out of all 6 of those people, like, it was just mind blowing, to be honest. Like, honestly, I feel like I got very lucky in some aspect, but it was cool. So yeah, me, the other girl, and then one of the guys sworn at the same time. I don't really know what happened to the other guys after we got separated. That all was just in the air, I guess. But the 3 of us got sworn in, and that was kind of interesting because we had to swear into the United States. So after that, I became military property. I am currently military property. I will be leaving at the end of October, and I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. New experience. And just something different, to be honest. I like new experiences. But that is all I have for you guys today. Next week I'll probably give you guys a tour of my apartment. I just recently moved in here, and I didn't really even think to show you guys around, but I love it, and I would love to show you guys my new apartment. So stay tuned in for next week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and share. Eventually these videos are going to be a lot better, just not right now because schoolwork is kicking my butt, but my butt for sure. But stay locked in, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week.